Thank you. So I hope we've had a very great time in the morning. We have discussed how we can use generative AI to identify real world problems and how we can solve those problems using generative AI. So I hope we've had a very good experience and a very good amount of knowledge. So in this afternoon, we will be discussing how we are going to use generative AI in practical session. And with this practical session here with us is Samet Taspinar. To say something about Samet, he completed his master's and PhD degrees at New York University, where he specialized in digital forensics and computer vision. After completing his studies, Samet worked for 3 years as a senior machine learning scientist at Overjet, a dental AI company. Throughout his academic and professional career, he has authored seminars and conference papers and secured 2 patents in the field of dental AI. And he is currently working as a tech advisor at A2SV. So why I've told you about this is because I wanted you to know that he knows what he is talking about. He is well experienced, and there will be a lot to learn from him. That will be it. And before we go into our session, I would like to give you a reminder to be more interactive because this is a practical session. It will be boring or it wouldn't target its goal if it just becomes a theory. So please be collaborative, answer questions. If you have questions, please bring them on the chat box, or you can also raise your hands as well. Without further ado, let's proceed to our workshop. Summit, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucer. Thanks for the introduction, and hello, everyone. Nice seeing you guys here. Before starting, do you guys all have the YouTuber viewers as well? Do you guys have the collab, the notebook? Who has the collab? Who doesn't have the collab?
If you have not gotten that collab, I have sent it on the chat box.
Would you mind sharing that on YouTube as well?
Yeah, it's being shared on YouTube as well. It's shared. Give us a thumbs up if you have gotten the link.
Who has the link? Who doesn't have the link? Okay. So I want all of you to create a copy of that, and we can play together. While I'm doing the activity, you should run things as well. So that would be really useful for you. So today, as Alistair explained, we'll talk about generative AI. We will play with things. We'll play with different models. We'll try different things. We'll play with text, images, speech to text, text to speech. We'll play with OpenAI, which has multiple models, several models. We will play with Hugging Face, which is another, like the biggest framework, which has several models that we can use, generative models or machine learning models. So without further ado, let's start working on the notebook. Here is one of the examples. Cristiano Ronaldo on top of his camel. It's not on top of his camel, but he looks kind of like Ronaldo, and the camel is kind of a little bit distorted, I think, but generative AI did a good job, I think, overall. We'll create more images. So can we start, Elisur, with the presentation, with this collab? And Is it okay for everyone? Okay. I think we need to share. Could we add that link to the YouTube as well? Shall I start, Elisur, or anybody else? Oh, Elisur is back. Okay, let's start. And in the meantime, please try to interrupt me if you need anything, if you don't understand anything, if something can be maybe explained in a better way, more clear way, or if you have a feedback, please interrupt and let's start. So first, some installations. I'm gonna go through basic steps really fast, as fast as Colab allows me. At this point, I'm installing something related to Hugging Face, library related to Hugging Face, and some audio library. We will use HTTPS connection in this project, and for Hugging Face, for OpenAI, for Hugging Face, we are going to use the API key. This API key is it belongs to A2SV. We all can use this, but after the meeting, we will kill this API key. And Hugging Face API key is going to be unique for each one of us. We'll have to have an account. We will create an account for everybody's going to create an account for themselves, and then we are going to use our own account API keys. Let's run this one. So let's start with OpenAI documentation. Let's understand what they have. I like this one, the way it goes. So to understand OpenAI better, does anybody not know OpenAI? What's OpenAI? What's ChatGPT? What's other tools they have?
I think most of us know, because we will use ChatGPT in our daily lives.
Yes. OpenAI is the company which has all these ChatGPT, DALL-E, Whisper, which are different. Like ChatGPT and different GPTs are text-based conversation. You ask a question, it replies. It's all text. And as we know, it's pretty much amazing. I have an account I use for everything in my life. Like my car was broken. I asked ChatGPT. Like whenever I need, I ask ChatGPT, how can I say this? How can I do this? It's just amazing. So we will be referring to this page a lot because this is our documentation. It has introduction, key steps. It explains GPT. I want you guys, all of you, to get used to this page, learn about it, understand it. And there is image generation here. It explains DALL-E, it has preview, etc. Then there is speech to text. It takes audio and creates a text, transcription of the text. And there is embedding, fine-tuning. You can learn about these as well. This is our first platform. Let's go back here. Now I want you guys to create Hugging Face account. How are we going to create account? Account creation is really simple. I'm going to give some time to you guys. And once you guys are, I already have an account, so I'm not going to create. I'm going to give some time. When you are done, when you create account, please thumbs up, and then we can continue.
So Samet, approximately how many minutes would it take to create an account?
It took me like 30 seconds or 1 minute. I
Okay,
think let's give 1 or 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, sure.
While you guys are creating the account, let's have a look at Hugging Face a little bit. It has models. The number increased by about 1,000 since yesterday. Let me share this one. And let me turn off my camera. So Hugging Face is a really nice platform. It has all the models. It has Facebook's new llama. It has, I don't know, BERT. It has, let's see, Twitter has some stuff. Facebook has so many stuff, so many things here. Tether, ResNet. Some things are, as you see, this is downloaded 2.9 million times, 1.6 million. So a lot of people are using. Let's see, Google, it has, I don't know this model, but it was downloaded more than 6 million times. Have you guys created the account? There is one. Anybody else? Okay, nice. Let's stay here a little bit more. There are types of models here, libraries, datasets, languages. You can select French, some specific languages. $750 for Turkish. Where are we at the creation, account creation? Only 4 people create the account, or is it more?
Yeah.
Should I continue here, Elisur?
Yeah, I think so. If you have created, please give us a thumbs up.
Okay, great. I think we have enough. Let's go to the next step. Once we create an account, we are going to do this. There is already a link. We'll go to settings, tokens. we will create a new token. I already created new token. We will say, what is this for? Generative AI session. It can be read. Read is enough. We created a new session key, and we can copy that. Yes, it's there is premium account, but there is free account, and free account is going to be more than enough for us. Not one account for all, but everybody is going to have their own account, and that's going to be enough. Let's get our API key. If you can type this, you are free to use it. But please create your own account, because I want you guys to get used to this and understand it, play with this, build amazing things. So now we have OpenAI key and Hugging Face key. Right? Did you guys create your keys, API keys? Any problem here?
It worked for me.
Nice. The others? So I'm again showing from here. Let's go from here. Settings. There are multiple things here, but access tokens, and you are going to create from here. It's really simple. And I think, should we go to the next stage? Should we? Okay. So let's start. Now the boring parts are gone. We can go to nicer tasks. Let's first understand, let's have a basic understanding of what's in OpenAI, like how we are going to do connections, how we are going to play with the models. Let's start from that. We are going to use HTTPS for this case, but you can use API key, and there are multiple ways to connect to ChatGPT models, but we are going to use this one for now. I'm going to check what are the models that ChatGPT OpenAI has. Here are the models I'm getting. Bunch of models. There is ADA, bunch of versions of that. Babbage, DaVinci, Curie, GPT 3.5. This is the one we are using commonly. GPT-4, text ADA, etc. And this is Whisper, which is audio. What are the differences? Any idea? Does anybody have any idea? Yes, go ahead, Abel. Efficiency.
Maybe
There's
their performance and their powerfulness, and also the data sets they are trained on, and also the target as well. So some of them be like for text generation, and some are for image generation, I suppose.
In these ones, I think all of them are text. One is, this is audio. There's embedding generation. This one, I don't know. But all of the ones you said are correct. There are other things as well. So the models have different problems. One has like hallucination problem. You are saying, here is my CV. can you summarize it? Can you create a resume from that? And some of them are generating some, let's say you say, I have Google Cloud experience, it creates AWS experience. Sometimes they do things like that, like they do hallucination. Some are better at hallucination, some are worse. Or the ChatGPT we are using is trained in a way that it's very cautious about being not racist, not sexist, stuff like that. It tries to be positive about religions, but in other ones are not really as cautious. They can say like bad things, stuff like that. There are some limitations of each one of them. And of course, there is the cost as well. As the size of the model grows, it's more expensive. For example, GPT-4 is 8 times bigger than GPT 3.5. It's basically 8 of GPT 3.5 is, it does like, if it is this type of task, use GPT 3.5 first one. If it is this way, use different. It kind of does navigation depending on the problem they are facing, depending on the text. So we have all these models. In this example, we are not going to do anything about that. We will just use 3.5. But I want you guys to get familiarized. We created this, and you guys read the inputs. In input, we tell what's the model, what's the messages. It can be a list of message, which we will come eventually when we create a chatbot together. Then, then we have n, which is the number of generation. We can generate one sentence or one response or many responses, etc. We can limit maximum of tokens. Let's say we don't want an essay. We ask like something simple. ChatGPT sometimes gives an essay. We don't want. We can say like, I want only 100 tokens. What's a token? Does anybody know? Nobody knows? Yeah, Abel.
I guess it is like an identification for the user who is calling the API. If I'm not mistaken, it can also be like in the field of like this generative AI, it can be like a unit that we measure like a chunk of letters or words.
Exactly.
But correct me if I'm mistaken.
It's close. It's correct actually. Let's ask ChatGPT. What is a token in ChatGPT? It's basically like word. It's basically per words, plus there is these kind of things like exclamation, etc. And let's ask ChatGPT. How many tokens are there in the it's called writing a Python code. Let's see. I have some plugins enabled. like my account type allows this, but maybe I should have deactivated that. Let's go to the link. $389. It has 389 tokens. So nicely, ChatGPT is kind enough to explain, implement what's a token, as you see. It's nice, right? Okay, so in ChatGPT, cost is, go ahead, Natia. Maybe it meant thumbs up. But in ChatGPT, the cost is determined by the number of tokens. If you send so many tokens, it's going to charge more. If you send like few tokens, it's going to charge you less. And there is limitation of number of tokens you can send or you can receive. In some conversations, you can, depending on the model, another difference of models are some are taking up to, let's say, 6,000, some are taking 16,000, some can take more tokens in a conversation. That's another difference. So I'm hoping that this is kind of clear. Let's go to the next step. Now we asked the question. We said, here our data is this. Who was the first person to go to space? Who is that person? Does anybody know? Nobody knows? Let's see. Let's see who is that person. We ran it. And the first person to go to space was Yuri Gagarin. He went with this. And as you see here, it creates like with a lot of things, total tokens, prompt tokens, completion token. What's our prompt token? It's this part. And what's our completion token? Actually, the whole thing, 42. Total tokens are 58. And to get the text, we need to do like within the choices, go to the, this is a list, go to the 0th one. I'll explain this later on. Go inside message, go inside token, then that's your text. You guys know Python, right? We'll use Python, so. Let's run this again. I'm gonna show you some kind of trick, sorry. I asked the same question. The question was, who was the first person to go to space? The same exact question, but the answer is different from here. Let's run again. It's weird, right? Orbited, who orbited on Earth? Different answer. Another different answer. Now it's talking about Vostok 1. Completed a single orbit of Earth on this time. It gives different answer and token numbers changes. Why is this happening? Any idea? This is a difficult question. Okay, Abel.
I'm not sure, but like every time we ask the question, it doesn't save the question and it tries to generate like a new text when the question is given. And I
Yes.
think it's random somehow.
Yes, it's not random. It's kind of random. It's basically non-deterministic. It does some approximate nearest neighbor search, which is um, imagine it's in some space. There is some kind of randomness. It causes the way it works is it causes some non-determinism. So non-determinism means your input is the same, your output is different, which is all GPT, pretty much all the GPTs are. Basically, there is a big non-determinism here, and whenever you run, you'll get different answers. So let's go to the next step. Are you guys running with me? Are you guys running on your collabs? Okay, good. Don't go far ahead. Now let's do another thing. Here, this is really similar. Now we play with the number of responses. We run this and let's print them. The first person is this, the first person with Vostok spacecraft. The first person, there is no Vostok. This is much shorter. Why is this happening? We know the answer, right? Because it's non-deterministic. It runs 4 times and it gets different answer each time. Instead of we running 4 times, 1, 2, 3, like I did, now it did by itself, it created 4 answers, and then now we have all this. Go ahead, Elisur.
I just had a question. Is there a chance that we will come back to the same answer? In how
Possible,
many
yes.
trials is that possible?
Sorry?
Like in how many trials is that possible? Like to come again to the same answer?
I don't know, honestly, but I would say that one way would be like we will run with high n, we would find unique ones, but I would say it's very unlikely in such a long sentence because there will be differences in commas, the order of that, like this one will be behind, etc. So I think it's unlikely, but you might get, especially in shorter answers. Let's say if you are asking for the name only, Yuri Gagarin is going to be always the same. But if you are asking for a sentence, then just give me the name. Let's do this. Yuri Gagarin, Yuri Gagarin. We got the same answer. But if we are asking for say it in exactly 10 words, or let's say 5 words. Yuri Gagarin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not exactly 5 words, but let's say 10 words. Now there is variations. You see, all of them are different. 2, 3. 12. I think it doesn't count a and the or in, something like that. But it's a really good question. Let's see. Now we are going to make it more interesting. Now this is your time. we will start creating functions here. I'm giving you time. Now, I want the full implementation. I want just the answer. This is simple one for the beginning. But let's give 2 minutes, and once you are done, do thumbs up. So what I want is, basically, I don't want hints. I don't want to give hints, but basically I want to get just the text. And you should know by now how to get the text. I don't want the whole like content, this is assistant, this is etc. Is the task clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, no. So what I want is here, ChatGPT gives this whole answer, right? Choices, finish, stop, index, blah, blah, all these role assistant. I want you to get this output. And the function is mostly written. You'll write one line of code here and where you'll write one line of code and it's going to give me only the answer, this part. Is it clear now? Okay, perfect. Try to use this one. Here is my first hint. I think this is a big hint. Now you should be able to do much faster. And don't forget, this is a list. Anybody completed? Nobody completed? Okay, so let's write together. Should I write here? It's gonna be simple. You guys already, most of you should be able to do that now. Full message. If I can write this choices. Let's print this actually. Let's do like debugging style. Okay, we got rid of the choices. Nice. Let's try more. Zero, because this is a list we will get rid of the the list. We will get the first element. Then we have message here. We want the message, right? And let's get the content. Okay. So here, let's go back one level. What is this assistant? And we called here user. Do you guys know what's the difference? Don't thumb up, just answer. Yes, go ahead, Samir.
So user is when the role is user, it's what the user of the app has typed, and when the role is assistant, it's what the AI has responded.
Yes, exactly. So at some cases, we might want to return this whole thing. In some cases, we might return this one, depending on your choice. I'm gonna return this one for now. Let's not pprint here. If we want to be more nicer for our code reviewer, we can just say only message, only response. Okay, now we have this. Let's do another thing here. So I'm gonna do something like, I'm gonna ask, who is the person go to the space first? Then I will say that I will try to trick ChatGPT. I think you might be wrong about it. This is, we already know this, right? I apologize if my response confused you, blah, blah. Can you please specify what particular statement or information you think I may be wrong about? I will be happy to clarify your concerns, etc. So what's going on? Like, did it not understand me? I tried to say, like, you are wrong about Yuri Gagarin. Why did it not understand that? Anybody knows the answer? Okay, I think, is Abel Kidemeriam here? No. The answer is this. So when we send a message to ChatGPT, it doesn't keep as conversation. When we send second message, it just forgets about everything before. We just need to send the entire conversation. So ChatGPT will have that conversation history, which is this clear? So we send a message, we send the second message, it has no idea about previous message or its previous answer. That's why there is no conversation history. We need to send everything we sent and received so it would be able to understand. It would be able to understand what we are talking about. Shall we resolve this problem? Let's say I'm gonna do something not really nice, but it's gonna solve our problem. Let's see, our question is going to be this. I'll change some couple of things here. Let me create a copy of this here. Let's say this is going to get messages. Messages. And instead of the response, I want to get the whole thing here. Sorry. Get answer. This should be V2. It's going to give me the content as well as the which user sent the message. Answer and we'll understand this. Let me this new question. So what did we do? I changed get answer. Now I'm getting, let's see what I'm getting. Let's do step by step. So let's look at this function. Previously, we were getting only the string. Now we are getting the role plus the content, right? Content is question. Now we changed get answer to get answer V2. Now it's better. It's more flexible for us. Are you guys with me here? Okay. Now our answer is content plus assistant, the content plus role. And we have messages. First, it has user. Then we appended the answer. Now we are creating history. Consider that. Like, let's print. This is the user's message, and this is the assistant's answer. Now we have this one appended. Let's see our messages now. Now, user send a message, content is there. Now user sent another message. You see, we created a history here. Let's ask ChatGPT. What is it gonna say? It said some weird answer. The historical records. Okay, this is smarter. If there was any confusion, the historical records indicate that Yuri Gagarin was indeed the first person to go to space. Let's add one more question. I want a question from whom? Who wants to give another question? I want one more question, one more message to ChatGPT. What should we say? Let's not ask. That's possible. Let's ask that. Okay. Who is the first engineer? I asked yesterday. Oops, I forget the friends. But it has, I figured there's a tool for hacking, like hacker in Kali, cybersecurity stuff. There's something A2SV. There's a tool, auto scanning to SSL vulnerability. Determining the identity of challenging, blah, 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 blah. However, some historical figures are considered pioneers in engineering. Oh, general engineer, you asked. Let's ask more precise question. Engineer who went to space? Alex Leonov. Let's ask another question. I think Elisur. Let's ask. Let's try to trick to space before Yuri.
That's obviously yes.
Yes, you are wrong about history. Let's see. Elisur, ChatGPT doesn't know you. That's disappointing.
Yeah, that's a failure for OpenAI.
Yeah, I think it's not good enough tool. Okay. So basically, now we created a conversation, right? We send a message, we received it and kept it. We send another message, kept it. Send another message, kept it. Now it knows the history. But if we haven't appended anything, this question is very clear. But as you saw above, we sent message and it just didn't know, like it had no idea about what we talked about before. So now comes your challenge. I'm gonna give 3 minutes. You guys already know, like remember this one, and you guys will create some chatbot and we will run that. You have 3 minutes. So how is it going for now? Is it interesting? Do you guys learn anything? Nice. Did anybody complete? Let me give the first hint. So here is our conversation history. We will use this one. How can we use that one? We want, what do we want? We want to extend the history, right? We get user input from here. So we have the bot, conversation bot. We will start conversation, right? This is going to start the conversation. We'll get the user message, which is role is user, contact is user input, whatever you say. And we will extend this one by appending, right? Does this make sense? So what about the next one? What are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? Go ahead.
We need to append the response also.
Can you say more louder, please?
We need to also append the response.
Yes. How?
Just
That
put conversation history to append response.
and response. Is it gonna be response or?
Response of content, maybe. I'm not sure. What is the return type in generative response?
Yeah, it should be response, right? Not the response content, because response content is the message, which is like.
It should contain also the role, right?
Sorry?
So we need to also send the role.
Yes. So response content only has that specific message, the content, whatever the answer.
Right.
But if we say that only response, it means that it's going to append the whole thing, role plus content.
All right.
Let's see. Anybody objects to this one? Did we make a mistake? Everybody agrees? Elisur, Abel? Okay, that's right.
I just got lost and I got a bug here, so I'm trying to figure out. I'm not sure if it is the right.
What's your bug? Where is your bug? So I'll ask later on. Let's start bot says, hello, let's start a conversation. What should we ask? How is your day going on? It failed. Why did it fail? Oh, that's this. Oh, it seems that I deleted the token counter. Did you face this bug? Abel?
Can you scroll up a bit?
Token counter. Oh, you are above. Your bug is here?
I think I got the bug when I started a conversation with it. Let me, yeah, in the challenge, I think. The first part of the challenge.
So challenge is here only.
Yeah.
This is like fully independent. So the code had some bugs. One bug, which is token counter. So is everybody okay now? You can just ignore the rest, Abel, and the task is only here now. So ask me about how my take content don't be rude. Okay. Good. We are at So I asked, remember to approach the workshop with an open mind, actively participate, embrace the opportunity to learn and grow, enjoy the process of discovering more about yourself, and don't hesitate to ask questions or engage in discussions. Wishing you a productive and insightful workshop session. This is a good vote. And unfortunately, our conversation ended here because we said it's going to be 3 iterations. We could make it like while, not exist, exit, etc. We can continue like that. Does it make sense? Are we at the same page here?
Yes, yes, Samet.
Anybody blocked in something? Anybody has bugs? Abel, do you have any bug now?
It's fixed now.
Okay, okay, nice. Did you guys, were you guys able to run this code without an issue? Yes, no? If you couldn't, you can just copy from here and paste it here. Let's see. The total number of tokens are 315. And here is our content. How is your day going on? As an AI, I don't have feeling. Ask me about my day. I apologize. I'm good. What do you want to say? This is what it says. So we have the full conversation. Now we are able to write conversation by ourselves. Like we can create conversation chatbot. We can basically replicate what's here. This is what it does. We ask a question as user. This is user. This is message. Assistant, its response. Myself and content. User plus content, etc. It accumulates, it appends, and whenever we ask new question, it appends everything and then sends the whole thing at a time. Now, so is this fine now? Do you guys have any question here? Until now, do you guys want to give feedback, response?
I think you are doing good, Samet.
Okay, perfect.
Everything is clear.
Perfect. How long has it been? Is it 1 hour now? Okay, we are almost halfway. It depends. Emre told me that I can keep you guys till midnight. But let's see. Now images. Now we are all expert in text. We will start working on images. So our goal here is using DALL-E and creating some type of images. We will send a text here, image generation. We will send a text. We will say prompt, I want a white Siamese cat. Size is this much. Number of times should be 1. And here is that, then another one, etc. We can do I don't know if we can do conversation, but we may be able to do conversation. I'm not sure. Let's see. So there is prompt, and oh, by the way, we can't do conversation because it doesn't take messages like the previous one had. Here it takes only string. Oops, I forgot this. Dang, this should have been it. Anyway, we can delete this one. This is boring. Let's do Messi riding a donkey in Miami. Let's say 512 by 512. Okay, this is different here, and let's have a look at this. We will send a message, which is Messi riding a donkey, and we will tell the size. 512 by 512 is good, and we will get a response. We can get two types of response. Let's make it URL. Response. Response dot. Okay. Messi is little weird though, but we have the donkey. This is like Miami, but it's not greatest Miami. Let's make it 1000 by 1000. Messi's face is getting better, but look, it's kind of, if Messi sues me, I can understand, but, or the donkey may sue me. But this is getting better. Let's see if it is gonna do something different. Yes, it's really close. It's Maguire. Oh, that's not allowed. Okay, that's not allowed. If we do smaller, then that's gonna be worse, I think. When it is lower quality, the donkey is better, but Messi is worse. Like his hand is weird. But it's not really bad, to be honest. Let's use 512. That's good. Riding a red Kawasaki. What's that? This is like, let's see. These are all pretty bad. But as you see, we can play with this and we can get different answers. So we can get multiple versions of that, etc. Now our task is there is not much, to be honest. I already implemented, it seems. So when we ask for red Kawasaki, it creates some weird thing. It's not even red. For donkey, it's better. Okay. Any question now? Shall we dig in, like what's going on behind the screen?
That would be great, Mr. Samet.
Let's ask ChatGPT. How is DALL-E working? What is the model that it uses as per your latest knowledge? Name is based on Salvador Dali plus Wally. That you guys know Wally, right? Robot. Based on this, and you know Salvador Dali. So basically, what DALL-E is trained on this. They collected images and text, image text pairs, and they said, like, given this text, here is the output. Given this textual context, here is the image output. Based on this correlation, similarity, it was trained. Let me see. I think it uses stable diffusion because that's what is stable DALL-E. Which model? GPT-3 and for image generation. Oh, this is the name of the model, it seems. Text to image models. The name of the model is DALL-E, it seems. That's a new information for me as well. So now we have this model. And we can run this. Are you guys able to run this DALL-E part? It's getting better. The donkey is between horse and donkey. It should be culturally more accurate or country-wise. Show his face. Ronaldo might sue me as well. Okay, so basically, we are giving a text and we give some resolution. It uses, we send, the message is sent to ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, OpenAI for DALI. We are saying use DALI, and based on our message and text, it uses text image matching, like from that text image matching information that it learned from like millions, maybe billions of images. It's able to generate something like this, an image that's related to the text. Okay, is this clear? A little bit more clear? Now we have another tool. Basically we use text. Now we use text to image. What's next? Speech, right? Is anybody tired? So in this section, let's talk about this a little bit. Now there is, in ChatGPT, there is, what is whisper model? What does, okay. Spoken language into written text. So basically it's gonna translate spoken language to text. That's our goal. Let me share this instead of, I'm sharing the tab now. You guys are running the codes, right? In the meantime. Okay. Let's speed up a little bit. I'm gonna make this session faster. So basically here we are gonna record audio and we will get it transcribed. Here is how we are recording audio. This is the function. Welcome to A2SV Generative AI Hackathon. Welcome to this one, and we created this function. I created this function. It's going to use whisper one, whatever, decoded audio. I'm going to record an audio. Let's make it 3 seconds. And welcome to today's hackathon. Now it sent the message, completed the audio. It's going to send it to OpenAI. Then we are doing the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing, pretty much the same audio transcription. The link is slightly different. Welcome to today's hackathon. We get the output. I'm skipping this really fast because we are coming to better stuff. We spent so much time in previous sections. Let's do this. Oops. We already have get answer. Now we have Hugging Face. Right, now we are at Hugging Face. Oops, let me delete my comment. What Hugging Face is an open source platform that provides state-of-the-art models, tools for NLP. It provides for other tasks as well. NLP images, is it only for NLP? Including, but also extend to other ML domains. So it does NLP plus other things. It has. As you know, as we discussed, ChatGPT is paid, right? We pay money. We are going to pay money for ChatGPT. Like it's few cents, but it's paid. But for NLP, it's different. For Hugging Face, it's different. We have our keys. Everybody has their keys, right? You guys have your keys. Okay, at least 4 or 5 people has. I think more people have. I had these functions. So get text from response, get image from response, get audio from response. Now we are going to write the chatbot again, but in this time, this time we are going to use Hugging Face instead of we have Hugging Face model. Let me go here. GPT-2. We are going to use this model instead. You see it, right? My name is Teban Samet. It basically generates word by word. It's kind of stuck, I think. Anyway, so GPT-2 is working like this. It reads my name is Samet. It has some tokens. Looking at my name is Samet, same for GPT-3. And I am looking at these tokens. It tries to predict what's the next token that has maximum probability. I am a, what's that? Like looking at these, student is most likely or very likely. Then it comes up with one of the universities, etc. Like looking at the previous sentences, words, tokens, it creates the next token. I like playing France. I like playing football with, let's see, friends, etc. It just generates this way. So we are going to use this GPT-2, which is much worse model than GPT-3 we are using. Now we have the chatbots. This is pretty much the same logic. I'm going to skip this because we don't have enough time. Then we have text to image again, generate image. I implemented this. These are, we are using this one here now. Oops. Now we have, so here we have multiple codes, functions, text from response, image from response, and audio from response. Now we have this chatbot, which is using GPT-2. Then we are going to use stable diffusion 2 from Stability AI. But there is 2.1, etc. But we are going to use your sentence. Messi in Abu Dhabi. Oh, this basically, some of the models work, some of the models take long time. Oh, okay. Messi with 3S here. It generates some on the camels. It generates some using some, it uses GPU, and in 7.6 seconds, it created. Oh, this is a good one. It has the colors of Barcelona. It has the camel with twisted head. It kind of has Messi. So we are using stable diffusion. I think this might be a little better than the other one, ChatGPT one. I think it's loading the model, etc. Or did they remove something? Anyway, then the last model we have is this one, text to speech. So this is the other way around. We did speech to text. Now we found a model that's going to do text to speech. Let me share this one only. Now we have this text. I found this model plus this model. These two are working from using API keys.
Hey, this is Africa to Silicon Valley Generative AI Hackathon.
It's pretty good. You guys can hear, right? Perfect. Sometimes it does these because it's loading the model sometimes. Now it's generating, I think.
Hey, this is Africa to Silicon Valley Generative Artificial Intelligence Hackathon.
When we say numbers, it doesn't understand those.
Hey, this is Africa to Silicon Valley Generative Artificial Intelligence Hackathon. Yay.
Yay for this. She's happy about our hackathon. Then there is this model. I'm not going to dive into this, but if you guys want, you can play with that. You can. This is also a very common one. She's warning. She's warning about what? Or yawning. You can play with this. This is question answering model. The reason I added this one is because we can use thousands of models. Just we can use Hugging Face API key and use all these models. But some of the models we can download them. Here is pretty good one. Let me like it. So you can download them to your local machine. You can download in your collab. Currently, we are not downloading anything. We just want everything to be done on Hugging Face side. Hugging Face loads those models in their GPUs, CPUs, and we are asking, do the work for me, and I want the response only. But if we have a really nice machine, we can download the model from our codes, and then we can play with the images. You see this one, it creates this one. We can do stuff like that. We can ask for, it's all imagination. Like you can put Messi, you can put Ronaldo's picture, and you can generate a Messi Ronaldo. Let's ask, generate a name for Messi plus Ronaldo. Ronald Messi, not good. Mesaldo, Esnaldo. This is better. Okay, Mesnaldo is our victim now. So we can create things like put Messi's picture, Ronaldo's picture, and your the output. Alternatively, you can do this. Oh, let me share this page. You guys need to warn me. I was really excited about that. So here, I've been thinking I'm presenting this, but here is another model in Hugging Face. But I'm not sure if you can do this on Hugging Face. You may have to download this model and play with that. So what it is you can get one picture, another picture, and generate the combination. Put Messi's picture, Ronaldo's picture, and have your picture. Have the Mesnaldo, our new victim, his picture. Or you can do something like your picture plus, let's say, Ronaldo's picture, and now your picture on top of Messi's picture or Ronaldo's picture. You can do tricks like this. So playing with these models, let's see where, if you look into these ones, there are so many amazing things you can do. Is this clear? So just you have, since we started, there is 100 more new models, 100 or 200 more new models. So this place is growing really fast. You can create your own model, whatever you want, and make it public. Push it to Hugging Face and then make it public. Let's see. So before we implemented these things, all these codes above, you can use them later on. And we are going to delete, like we are going to get rid of the OpenAI key, but you already have Hugging Face key. So you can keep working on this collab. You can add more models from Hugging Face. You can do whatever you want here. Now, what we are going to do is, let's give like 5-minute break, and then we can continue. Does it sound okay? Or like 2 minutes break, and we can get water. We can drink coffee if we want, tea, and then we'll be back in like 2 minutes. Okay? Then
Okay, sure. 2 to 5
make
minutes.
sure that. Sorry, up to what
2 to
time?
5 minutes is enough. Okay, I was saying that.
Okay, few minutes later we'll be back. Like 3 minutes. Let's say 3 minutes. I'll get tea, water, etc. And you guys can also get your get whatever you want. Then we are going to create a mock interview tool together. This is going to be the best part. See you in a few minutes. No, not till midnight. It would be really difficult. I'll be back in a few minutes. You too. I'm back now. Are you guys here? How is it going for now? Until now? You guys can give audio feedback. You can talk. You can feel free to talk. Elisur, do you have any part you didn't understand? Or Abel?
I think I have understood most of them. I think I'm gonna need some time to digest more on this. I just wanted to give other people to speak about how they feel. Mahir Mo said, is there a Google Doc link for this tutorial? I think we have shared the Google Collab link. I'll send it again.
Let's add the link to event as well. You guys should copy and be able to run this everything, pretty much everything.
Oh yeah, we'll work on that.
And go through, understand all of them. Now, anybody else? Should I randomly pick? Sefine? Is everything clear for you? Or Biruk? Okay. So
it would be nice if you try voice feedback in a few.
yes, that would be really nice. Go ahead, Abel.
Gabriel is raising his hand. Okay.
I think it's going well until now. And I would like to say for everyone in the meeting to bring their questions if there are any.
Yeah, even in YouTube, if you...
Yeah, we are also checking the YouTube, so everyone in the watching the live stream, drop your question in the chat and we'll bring it up.
There are questions I see in YouTube. Can we do something with the background is smoother, whatever? Somebody asked my yeah, you can follow that questions as well in YouTube, and you can bring it up as well. Anyway, let's start. Yeah, who is this? Mahir. What do you mean? Are you asking me, or how about a docs for questions from YouTube? I didn't understand comment.
I think he's saying we can paste the questions in the chat to Google Docs, but when there are relevant questions, I will bring them up. But some of them are personal questions, so we can keep them to the end of the session, and we can address them later. But yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Now let's start working on mock interview tool. Let's say you want to go to all of you are, or many of you are doing some software engineering, some undergrad in computer science, electrical engineering. You are getting ready for Google, Facebook, etc. And One thing is, okay, so you guys are great at software engineering, algorithms, data structures. You know those, but when they ask you questions like, tell me about the time when you had conflict with one of your colleagues, are you ready for those questions? Now, that's another type of interview. Like when somebody asks you, interviewer ask you about this, how are you going to respond? Of course, we are going to ask ChatGPT how we should respond to such questions. We will build a tool now. We will build a primitive tool and something really simple. But what it does is the interviewer, which is ChatGPT, it's going to ask us a question. We will convert it to audio and we will reply with our audio, our voice, and send it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is going to do some kind of evaluation about our answer. Basically, it's going to be like using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to be our both interviewer and evaluator. It's going to give us a question, listen to our response, and tell us like, you did this good, did this bad. Basically, let's have a look at this. There will be an interview question, then text to speech. That interview question is going to come as audio, then we'll play the audio, then record my answer, then that audio, my answer, is going to be converted to text, and we will submit it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is going to answer, and that answer is going to be converted to audio. Is this clear? Is this a fun tool? Like, does this sound interesting to you guys? Okay. So let's do this. Let's start. We have this function already. And here is our function. Here is our class. It's not the best class, but it's not my best implementation, but let's see. We are going to say that I'm interviewing for, by default, it's FANG companies, FANG, for software engineering role. Suppose that you are an interviewer and you will be a behavioral interview. Could you ask me a single behavioral interview question? Only ask the question, no other words needed. Why did I do this? Let's run this code. Oops, why? Okay. Let's run this. Sure. Here is the behavioral interview question for you. We don't want this, right? We want only the question. Describe a time when you faced a particularly challenging technical problem while working on a project, and explain how you approached and solved it. Now it does a good job, right? This does what we want. Next step is, what's the next step? Converting it into audio, right? Is this part clear? I want audio answers as well.
It-
It's clear.
Okay. Now I'm gonna implement together. I don't wanna just jump, but I can copy from below. So what are we gonna do next? We want audio, right? Define. We want, let me copy from here. Sorry. Let's come here, but I'll write stuff here. So first step is tell me about a time when you had this. What are we gonna do? Here is our interview question. We have print. We have an interview question. Tell me about a time. Then we will convert this to audio, right? I copied this function. This is basically one of the functions I created above. It is basically text to speech. It takes interview question and creates audio from that. This is a function from Hugging Face. We jumped that a little bit fast. Hugging Face, audio from response. Yeah, this part, text to speech. Using this one, this function, you remember this yai thing. I'm using that function and I'm gonna generate interview question as audio. Self dot interview question as audio. Let's run this. The model is loading again. It's going to be about 20 seconds. Okay, now it's running. Oh, you don't hear it now.
Tell me about a time when you faced a conflict while working on a team, and how did you handle it?
You guys heard this, right? Okay, so we completed this. Is this clear? We
Yes.
already implemented that. Yeah, it's clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's our next step? We received this answer, and what are we gonna do now? We received this question from ChatGPT. What are we gonna do? It asks us a question. We will reply with audio, right? Let's see here. We played the audio. Now we are going to record my answer. Right? We converted text to speech. Now we are going to implement get reply from candidate, which is me. So here we used Hugging Face. Hugging Face. Here we are going to use Open AI. We had audio transcription. Tell me about a time.
Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a difficult team member.
Now, start recording. I never had any issue with any team members. All respected me and things were always great. Now it completed. Now we converted the audio to text. I never had any issue with any team members. All respected me and things were great. So this did, let's find this function. We are recording and then getting transcription using OpenAI. Does this make sense? Okay. I kind of feel I'm losing some of you. Some of you may not be clear about this. Next step is, what's the next step? We get the response, we converted it into text, then we will submit it to ChatGPT. This is the next step for evaluation. We got this response from candidate, then we are going to submit this to ChatGPT. Now, for ChatGPT, what are we supposed to do? For ChatGPT to have conversation, what do we need? Are you guys with me? Fakeda? So what do we need for a ChatGPT response? Like to be able to get response from evaluation from ChatGPT, what do we need?
We need to send our answer to ChatGPT to validate it for us.
Yes, but we need the whole conversation, right? We did that in chatbot. We already did this in chatbot. So we know that there will be conversation. First, the intro, which is what we said initially. Your interviewer asked me some question. I'm gonna apply for this job to interview question. Then ChatGPT asked me an interview question. Then here is my reply. Then here is my, I'm asking for this. Could you review my answer for the interview question? Tell me what I did well and how I can improve my reply. ChatGPT is going to do that. And then after evaluation, we will convert the evaluation to audio. Here is ChatGPT evaluation. And once ChatGPT evaluates the answer, we will convert that to audio. Does this make sense? Like once this is done, I want you guys to play with this, and you can replace ChatGPT with Hugging Face. And then do this. Let's run this finally and see.
Tell me about a time when you had to work on a complex project with tight deadlines.
Now I'm going to record my answer. I never had any issue. Everything was so generous, no tight deadlines. I never had an issue. So ChatGPT now responded. You could provide more specific examples, elaborate the projects you have worked on. It's important to demonstrate. Now I wonder why it didn't work. The model failed, but yesterday it was working. If I run it again, it should be fine.
Share an example of a time when you faced a significant challenge while working on a team project and describe how you approached it.
I never had any problem. Things were great. Let's say this. Now ChatGPT, we are asking for ChatGPT to give us an answer, and it failed. Oh, why did it fail? Probably there is some problem in the model, or we did something simple. Anyway, basically, assuming that this is fixed, which we can figure out later on, or you guys can figure out later on, this is pretty much the whole conversation. So we can change individual pieces to different models. We can play with different parts. We can change OpenAI things to diffusion here. We can say, let's say, instead of OpenAI ChatGPT, I will use GPT-2, or we can use a little bit smarter ones than GPT-2. Then this would be our end-to-end tool, mock interview tool. Now I will give you, I want to have a, like, is this fine now? Now everybody should open their mics and then you guys respond. Like, are you clear what I did now?
I think I've had a network issue and I've lost you a bit.
Sorry, where did you lose me? Which one was not clear? Which part was not clear? Fekede, let me ask you.
Hello.
Yes.
So what was your question?
So is this clear, like what we have done here? Is this clear?
Yeah, it was very clear for me. As you have first, we have been diving deep into the first by building text to speech and OpenAI's with OpenAI connection, and also text to sound we have been building at first. Then after that, finally we came to build the mock interview tool. So as we see at that mock interview tool, we have steps. So at that step, we have been using the one that we were building. Then finally, it came to be uh, working in mock interview tool, and that was great, and it went very well.
Nice. So basically, in the last few 2 hours, almost more than 2 hours, we created pieces, right? We created text to text generation using ChatGPT. We created conversation tool. We created speech to text to speech. We did both of them. And at the end, we created a mock interview tool that can get inputs, outputs, it can give us feedback, it can, everything is going to be audio, which didn't work, last piece didn't work out, but we can get it work, it's fine. That's not the most important part. But overall, we generated a tool that's end-to-end doing an interview, full interview. That was our goal, and we were able to achieve that. Is this clear, Elisur, now? Or do you have any question? Okay, now is Elisur here? Or Abel here?
Hello, Samet. I think my PC just got stuck. I was not able to join from my PC. Yes, I'm here and I've heard you what you said. It's clear.
Okay. So now I will open up for questions. We created this mock interview tool. And do you guys have any questions? Or let me ask this way. What else we can do using these image tools or other tools? What else we can do? Any idea? Just give an idea. Like think about, just come up with an idea. What can we do? Go ahead.
Okay, so I think like by giving like the model like some context or like for ChatGPT, we can have, for example, customized assistant bots.
Yes. Such as like
For example, in governmental like institutions, there might be some guidelines and like some steps which can be answered by ChatGPT rather than going to a real person. And
yes.
like by using some kind of like assistant bots, we can cover a lot of customers at the same time.
Yes, we can use that. And what else can we add? Like I want more generative thing, like connecting multiple APIs, connecting multiple tools. What can we do? Similar to what we have done, we can integrate audio, right? One example is that like you can record your audio and it would get government related tasks that as audio, right? And it would
Yeah.
respond audio as well. What else we can do? Think about images. Abel, go ahead.
Maybe like when someone has entered or gets employed in a company, so there is like a training period, right? Where we can train, where we train like the newcomers to the company. So those things, like the HRs will do those jobs most of the times, but this can be done like with such AI bots with a conversation manner, and it's not also stressful to the employee. And yeah, we can use like the audio thingy by training it with the company's policy and principles, and then we can use it like to solve such repetitive tasks. I would say.
Yes, it can be expanded to any repetitive task, right? Like
Yes.
not any, but many in repetitive tasks. We can do that for sure. But let me give another idea. For example, let's say you wanna write a child book. You can give audio commands. You can say like, you can do discussion, and then you can say, I want turtle near bridge. You can ask ChatGPT or you can ask DALI, and then that would generate one picture. Then you can do tricks like combine text with audio. You can combine text with image, etc. You can use the images as well. By talking, you can create a tool that is in a very automated way that can create a child book or any book that can contain image. You can do those kind of things. So other things, you can generate videos, you can convert one image to another. You can use these, let me share this one. Where is Orca? You can use this to build fancy tools, fancy images. You can create logos. So the number of things you can do is almost infinitely many. So do you guys have any other question? If not, we can finalize it here. Go ahead.
I think Fakada has a question.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So my question is, do you have any model recommendations that you can give to us? Maybe it is from Hugging Face or another that is used to provide used using some medias like the one that you have been showing us, that is one thing or one application is text to speech, and the other one was generating an image. So do you know other models that can give us other things or to do other things? It's just your recommendations.
Yes, that's a great question. Here are the things you can do. Hugging Face. You can go to models. I think you need to explore this a lot. There is text to speech. Then there are 400 models. There's Microsoft model. This doesn't use API. You need to download it, but it shows how you can use it. You can just copy this function or these lines. You can copy these and you can create from text to speech in your collab. Or let's look at other things. Automatic speech recognition. Let's see. So it's like language I think it's related to languages. It recognizes. Then there is audio to audio. You can do different things. And I think that's related to from one language to another conversion. Then there is summarization. You can use these models, and it probably has how to use it. You can generate some kind of summary. Eiffel Tower is a landmark in Paris. This is the thing, and this is the answer. We can go. Wait. Let me share window. So there is, we can go to models again. I think this is just amazing place for you to explore. There are just so many things. Let's see. There are so many things, different data set, different languages. Let's see if Amharic is here. Amharic. There are a bunch of language models here. Then image to text. You give, it's in Japanese, it explains in Japanese. So there is worlds of tools here. And I think instead of me telling you use this one, you need to explore this. Just so many of them has some codes below. Now generate a video. Install this thing, then generate a video. Darth Vader is surfacing on waves. You see the video, right? Does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. So I would highly recommend going here. And any other question? If not, we can complete the session.
Okay, thank you, Samet, for your great presentation. All of you, I think we have had a very good session. We have learned a lot, so please give a lot of applause for Samet. Okay, thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining. It was a fun time. Hopefully you learned.
Okay, thank you, Samet.
My pleasure.
For
and
sharing
have a good
your
rest of the day,
knowledge.
everyone.
Okay, so guys, please be active on Discord and on Slack. We will post further instructions. We will also post resources. And thank you for being with us. Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.